Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappell Jr., with our very special guest, Dr. Sharon Barnes. So we're going to go fast forward a little bit and talk about your specialty right now, which is ADU. So take it away.
Take it away. Well, I've been focusing on ADUs now for about 3 years, a little bit more than 3 years. I was taking a training to take my business to the next level. And one of my past clients, friends, I mean, going back to even being a legal client where I help her set up several businesses and so forth in the Inland Empire, she told me about a friend of hers who had gotten a job down in Los Angeles where they were leasing out the backyards of homeowners, building ADUs and leasing them and splitting the profits with the homeowner at no cost to the homeowner. And I got excited because I'm like, wow, that's what we need. I mean, we're in the Inland Empire. We got some of the smallest houses, the biggest lots. We got credit problems. We don't have money. You know what I mean? We could get build a ADU in the backyard and lease it out and give people extra cash. And people were talking about how much difference $600 a month would make to the average family. And I'm like,
for sure.
Wow, you could get that just on your split, you know?
Exactly.
So I started down that path 'cause I thought it was like really great. But then my investor friends was like, okay, how did that pencil out and how I get my money back? And they own the property. And so, it took a deep dive. And then while I'm diving, trying to figure out that model, the laws kept evolving. So basically, these ADUs, some people call them granny flats, casitas, guest houses. I really don't like those terms. I mean, I don't because I know why they use them is because it's familiar to us. That we all grew up and we knew back houses. And in LA, they had a lot of, back houses and so forth. And we knew the guest quarters in the more upper, class areas or whatever. And they had maids, they had maid quarters. But these ADUs are not your grandparents' back houses. They're not, the elite guest houses.
Okay.
They are modernized small houses. I know we got the tiny home, but this is different because the ADUs meet the standard building codes. So if you're living in a stucco house with lifetime tile roofing, with all the internet connections inside, it's a smart home, stainless steel appliances or whatever. All we're talking about doing is taking your nice, big, luxurious home and making a smaller model. And they will look like family. They will feel like family. They will have recessed lighting, the newest appliances, all the technology. I mean, we can make them green efficient. Back in the day, a back house, you couldn't even have a full bathroom or a full kitchen. That's why, if you remember, they would have like a little hot plate.
Right.
Okay, and maybe a toilet if they were lucky. Other than that, you have to go to the main house.
Right.
ADUs are to be self-sufficient. They are to be self-sustaining, that you can go down the side of the garage into your house and live long-term without ever having to go to the main house for anything. And so it makes it cost-effective because you can rent them out. You can rent them out to a lot of people are doing them now for visiting nurses. Some are doing for families. I've been working with a couple of the companies. One, the ADU Resource Center in LA. In Glendale, they're expanding out this way. And also local contractors that are building ADUs. So I've talked to a lot of homeowners in our area. And I would say that most of the people that's building the ADUs that I've talked to are in the age range of 40 to 50. They are building for adult kids and parents. Okay?
Adult kids.
I had one of my first projects in Rancho. She says, I got two sons. Three. One is on his own now. He wants to move back home, but she said that's not happening. But the other one, he needs to get out of my house. He can't go out into the world right now, but we're going to put him in the backyard, okay? And we're going to charge him rent. And we're going to save that rent until he's qualified to go get a house. And then his brother's going to go back there, okay? When they're out and on their own, or hopefully gone and bought property and did the same method of buying, building an ADU, getting some rental income, then we can just rent it out. But they want it as a stepping stone for children to get out out the house.
Right.
And I do think that during COVID, I think a lot of people thought differently about their space. Because especially for that period when we were locked down, and to have everybody confined and not being able to go and come, and I think that's one factor that when it did start opening up, all the real estate market went crazy. People were talking about all this money. People weren't going out to happy hours. They weren't getting their nails done. Wasn't buying clothes. They was locked down, and then they looked up. They had money in the bank if they were, blessed enough not to lose a job and they
Right.
able to go virtual. They had money in the bank, and all the kids had got on their nerves and like, we need more space, and we're gonna get it by any means necessary. Okay, so they came out, and we got over asking price bids and so forth, and that's coming down a little bit. But I think that we did think differently, and then we had how it hit the senior care facility so hard, and you couldn't get in to even check on your loved ones. And if you were lucky, you could see them through a window. People much rather have their parents in their backyard, be able to schedule the nurses and whatever,
Right.
and to go and to take care of their family. So I think it's a great opportunity that's evolving. And one of the things behind the ADU law is that we do have a severe shortage in inventory. And the local state government realizes that we can't build ourselves out of it with the large investors. We need every hand on deck. And so they've removed some of the barriers, reduced some of the fees to allow the average homeowner to build an accessory dwelling unit on just about any lot in California that can meet the minimum setbacks. And there are a lot of them.
Now, you said one thing that was interesting is that a homeowner can get one of these units in their backyard and it won't cost them a dime.
Yeah, that's one program. And there are people out there that are investing that way. They will lease your backyard from you, okay? Just lease it out, build an ADU, rent it out, and then share the profits with you, okay? Some of those contracts, they require maybe the first option if you decide to sell, that they get the first option to purchase, because you've been partners.
Correct.
So if you need to sell, downsize, or whatever, why not give it to me, especially if we've had a good relationship. Okay, that might be the exit strategy. The company in Los Angeles that I was talking about, I actually got a chance to see some of their documentation, and they had buyout agreement, a price that is filed on record. And so when you get ready to sell, you could buy them out at a certain price, or you can negotiate and allow them to sell, to buy the property if something happens to the main homeowner.
Now, ADUs consist of all types of dwelling units. Now, that could be an regular ADU, transferring your garage into an ADU, or putting an ADU on top of your garage, or you got a junior ADU. So if you can dabble on that just a little bit for me.
Okay, so let's take the junior ADU. The junior ADU is, in the law, it has to be 500 square feet or less, usually within the existing footprint of the house. So it could be the single car garage, it could be the 2-car garage. I've talked to couples, they had like a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house, and when you walk in, you have the nice big living room,
Right.
and then you walk through and you had the kitchen, and then the other side of the kitchen they had the great room, right, in the family room before you go out the sliding glass door.
Correct.
Okay, to the back. They have decided to split the house by putting a wall up on the other side of the kitchen, putting another kitchen on that wall on the 2 sides, cutting a door in the wall to the side to lead to the master bedroom that already has the bedroom and the bathroom, and then getting the entrance door. So they are making a unit within that existing footprint, and if it's 500 square feet or less, it can qualify as a junior ADU. And the only caveat, though, right now, the law requires that owner of the house has to occupy the junior or the main house. It's not free to investors right now.
Okay.
Okay? To do a junior ADU. But everything is evolving, and I think that probably will change next year.
Okay. So with that in mind, you and I definitely need to talk, because I can do an investment thing, and for sure, I'm not joking. I'm serious.
I know. I just like now. It's hard for me to even think about. I go out to see properties or working with buyers on that traditional side, and I'm looking at the house like, oh wow, like I have one coming up over in Paris, and it has this nice size flat yard in the back, and it's like, wow, I could put a 700 or 800 square foot ADU, 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, walk down the side of the house in this backyard. I mean, and we're in the Inland Empire. It's less than 500,000. I mean, so even with the average rent, you got a positive cash flow of about $500.
Yeah, find me a partner out there. Hey, we can split the profit. We can do a whole lot of different things.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm also an investor in a company called Back Porch Homes. We call it BPH as an acronym, and they do the tiny homes, and now they're moving into single and double wides now.
Right.
Because I know a lot of the mobile home parks are short on inventory. They either got empty space or they got these dilapidated units there, and the parks can't put no new inventory there because the COVID got them sitting behind from their manufacturers. So now they're looking at a year and a half to 2 years before they can even put new inventory there. So now BPH can be that new supplier for them here in California. So a lot of people are interested in doing the ADUs, especially with the tiny homes. Because I tell people tiny homes has been around for years.
Yeah.
They used to just be trailers. Now because the trailers are looking like homes, that's where the tiny home comes into play. So a lot of people are very interested. They just don't know how to value these units to where they can benefit from. So we're finding that very it's a up and down kind of thing right now where everybody's stuck at. So don't know exactly where they're going to go with that. So definitely I want to hook up with you and see how I can collaborate with a homeowner and see how we can make a partnership by just adding the funds to it, build it, and just do it like
there's
that.
Definitely a way. I mean, it's like the syndication 2.0. We just need to do it, and we have opportunity here. And Back Porch Homes, like I had a client over in Rialto, and they have a small yard, but they want to put in the pool and the ADU and put it on the solid foundation. So Back Porch Homes, their product fit perfectly. One of the contractors that I met through the Inland Empire Investment Club came out and sat down with them. We got the architect going. So, I mean, it's just pulling all those resources together and pulling that team together to get it done.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our final break. We're going to come back more with Dr. Barnes as well as the Real Men of Real Estate. Thank you.